Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining. Today is a bonus session as we couldn't get time last time with Dada. We had a lot of energizing energy and then passion, and then we did a lot of great thing last week, and I felt like it was a very energizing session, and hope you all also got to connect with Dada and his way how meditation can help us in this lot of stressful world. So today we have this makeup session or a bonus session. We are going to talk a little bit of 10 mindset shifts. What exactly are those? How we should be really thinking about the career and life. But before that, I also want to start with why don't we start with quick introduction if you don't know anyone. I think some of you know each other, but I will just call on some names. Maybe if you can introduce, that way it is easy to know each other, and then we can get started. I have some exciting news and a lot of things that we are going to do with C-suite session with Krishna sir, and I'll give his profile. Those who do not know, I'm going to give a lot of information in 1 hour, but this is for networking. I would like to start, at least introduce where you are, which company you work for, and then why you think you what you need from this session, and then also whatever you would like to share in terms of your hobbies or any other thing. Why don't we start with first, uh, Giri, go ahead. I think, yeah, you are the one which probably need to introduce. Giri there.
Told myself.
We can't hear you properly. Maybe there is a mic or network issue.
Is it audible, Sanjeev, now?
Yes, now it's better. Yes, perfect, go
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you. Yeah, good evening, friends. Myself, Giridharan. I was with Cummins during Cummins Turbo Technologies between 2008 to 2010, along with Sanjeev. I was working in Pitambur plant. Currently, I am working in Tata Passenger Electrical Mobility in Ahmedabad, where we are producing EV vehicles. So I am taking care of TCF ME role. So I am leading TCF ME role in Tata Passenger Electrical Mobility, which is my current role. And prior to that, I worked with Ford also for almost 12 years in Chennai. So my basic intention from this program is to understand. Yeah, Sanjeev, you are trying to say something?
No, go ahead. No.
Okay. So my basic intention of this program is to understand the networking. So as Sanjeev always tells me, we need to develop our networking. So my and basically I am very poor in networking. So I am very poor in connections also. So I just want to improve my networking skill. That is one of the major intention of for me. So that I can take help from you also share what I can help you others. So that is the major or intention of me at this moment.
Great.
And my hobbies is
Go
cricket
ahead.
and watching TV. That's a simple hobby. I'm not much passionate to anything, but I need to learn many things. As I told during last week, we had a very good session on meditation, which I never done in my life. Where I won't find time. Also, I don't have patience. Also, but that is one of the good session where we can enjoy yourself by keeping calm for some time, which will really gives a lot of benefit in terms of relaxation as well as to gather some things from your mindset. So this is a broad level introduction about me. So if anyone need further, you can connect me separately. Thanks, Sanjeev.
Yeah, thank you, Giri. Yeah, very good. And Giri and I met, like he said, right? It was maybe 10, 12, 15 years ago, but we are still connected and very much looking forward to helping with this network, Giri, and start connecting each other. What I'm going to think, I need your ideas as well. How do we really connect each other, know each other? That way you can help each other, right? For example, Giri is working in Tata and say Harsh is working in Caterpillar. How we can connect and then reaching out, and then also let me know if I can help you guys to connect. That way you can build that relationship, start something to learn from each other, and also network is the one thing, in the AI world, there is a lot of information available. There is everyone wants to, or maybe, the information access is there, but there is also a lot of information that is not so useful. So the connection is the one which will take us to the next level. And connection is the one who will, again, which will help you really build that trust, and then people will help you. So to me, very very important is networking, and I personally, I do networking, and anytime I meet a person, a CEO or a leader or general manager or anybody, like, any person, I feel like we are made for, lifelong kind of a friendship. And then how do we really not use transactional, I need something from someone, versus how can I help? If you go with that mentality, your network will build, you will build a great network, right? That's how I think. However, now we are starting with introduction. Welcome those of you who have joined now. Go ahead, George, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Sanjay, for putting this opportunity together so that we all can come together and able to meet. So, my name is George Vergas, and currently I'm a director for cybersecurity and AI with Capgemini. I just recently started with Capgemini, and before this, I have an overall experience of 14 to 15 years in cybersecurity. And yeah, in India, I was working with Wipro, started with Wipro, 2 years there, working for ICICI Bank, and then moved to Travelex, foreign currency exchange. And from there, I moved to UAE, worked few contracts, worked with UAE Defense, and Lockheed Martin there in UAE, and working there, same, everything in, like, I built like three global security operations from ground up, two ISO 27001 certifications for two companies. So that's like my, and then now I'm here in the US now, in New York, New Jersey area. I working on, developing portfolio development for cybersecurity and AI space. It's a new practice wherein the AI and cybersecurity are coming together. And
Great.
I'm here
Go ahead.
to know people and to all the knowledge that is being shared. I'm a lifelong learner, so I'm learning from each one of you. That's what I'm doing.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, George, for sharing. And you have a great, a lot of experience, and particularly I'm now passionate about ISO 27001, all the security things. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we can exchange ideas and share knowledge. Very good. Yeah, and by the way, Satya is also there in New Jersey, so I think there's a great connection here. Good.
Hi, George. I'm in New Jersey, so yeah.
Hi.
Go ahead,
Hi.
Satya. Why don't you introduce anyway? You're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know majority of the people here from last few calls. Again, my name is Satya. If for people who don't know me, I'm from New Jersey. I'm here for the past 29 years now, so it's a long time. I worked in various companies, like George said, but I'm in the HR domain. I worked in PeopleSoft before for 20 years and then moved on to Workday software, which is again ERP for HR. And I work in all modules of HR. I worked with many, many companies as consultant. And now, I work for a company called PVH, which is the parent company of Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. Yes, I do get 40% discount if you guys want. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so it's a great company. So I work as a director of HR systems, managing the HR technologies and HR operation technologies. It's a great company, and I'm here to learn more about, I know I heard from last time from Krishna how different mindset we need to become a C-suite executive, and definitely that's something I'm interested. we are, we are learning all through our life, but I know there is a shift needed in your mind for becoming a C-suite executive. Some things I've learned in Krishna really enlightened me. I'm like, oh my God, I do completely differently. So this is something I wanted to learn here from all of you, from all of your experiences. And I always believe community is very important. Supporting each other is very important. And that's why I'm here.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
again for allowing me to join. Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Satya, for that. And yeah, I completely understand. We are going to talk a little bit more about C-suite today. And Krishna said he's going to take us through, how that program will work and then what exactly we are expecting. And very, very glad to know. Any of you, I think we met majority of them. Anybody is new here, if you can raise your hand and just introduce, because I think most of you know, so we can get started here. Lavanya, go ahead and introduce quickly if you can. I think I know you, but I think many of the people may not know you. Lavanya, are you there? Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I could not come in person. I'm not well. Hello, everyone. I'm Lavanya. I'm working as a senior technical analyst in Cummins, and my mentor is Sanjeev, and he is really providing a lot of value to me. Like we used to connect often, and I'm here to learn from different people and to reach next level in my career and in also in personal space. I feel this community is a very great opportunity to learn from many different people, especially in high levels. Like last week we had different sessions with chief officers and all. So this is a great platform, and I'm eagerly waiting to hear more from Krishna sir. And that's all about me, like quick introduction.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Akshay, why don't you go ahead and introduce?
Yeah, so myself Akshay Sonwar, I am from Pune, and I know Sanjeev from last 5 and 6 years because we were working when Sanjeev was in the commis, and from that I developed myself. Now I work as a VPI in new product development in Cummins for software and electronics, and I'm with Cummins from last almost 5 years now. I'm completing reaching to 6 years journey in the Cummins, and I'm just giving myself time to reach the various career aspirations, because I need to work on networking firstly, because when we are tight with our job responsibility we cannot get time to reach the people. That's what my understanding is. When we have time we reach to people, and because in this community various people are from various backgrounds, so we'll get some knowledge and their expertise as well, because currently we are seeing the market is going on the way with all the directions. So whenever we have networking we will be reaching to that level with a quick manner. So that's what my aim is from this community. And yes, I'm happy to networking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Anybody wants to the final introduction? Anybody quickly would like to go? Okay, I think we know. I think Rich, everybody knows, but just wanted. Why don't you go ahead and just give a quick intro? That would be good for.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name's Rich Henrik. I work for Aero Electronics. I'm part of Sanjeev's Enterprise Quality Group. I'm based in Phoenix, Arizona, and been here for about 5 years. My background, my role, I'm an environmental health and safety manager, and I work on ISO implementations and internal quality system audits. Background wise, I've worked in electronics for right at 30 years in a variety of roles. I was a technician, manufacturing engineer. I was the facility quality manager for 14 years, making primarily medical devices for a rather large plant. We had 20 different medical customers and making literally millions of medical devices out of our facility. I appreciate Sanjeev hosting these sessions. I'm a believer in lifelong learning. I'm toward the end of my career, but I learn something every time I come to one of these events, and I'm always hungry to learn something new. I did pick up my book from last week. I guess can't really see it with the way the camera works, but was really thrilled that it actually comes with a music CD to use for the morning and evening meditations. So that's a lot of fun. So I'm just looking forward to learning things from our presenters and for the group as a whole, because I find that a lot of times I learn really good tips from people that work in an industry different than mine. So just really looking forward to the shared learning. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, amazing. I know Shilpa, you joined now. Why don't you go ahead and have we just starting with a quick introduction, and before we start the session, go ahead and introduce. Shilpa? Looks like network issue or something. Okay, anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen. Today, we'll talk a little bit more about C-suite as well as 10 mindset shifts that are required for us to, get to the next level. Let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can see something.
Okay, great. So today we will talk a little bit, maybe, initial 15-20 minutes about how do we plan, prepare, and then be ready for C-suite roles. And Krishna sir is going to talk a little bit, and he's here today. And I just want to give those of you who do not know Krishna, he brings almost 40 years of business experience from diversified industry segments like automobile, auto components, energy, oil and gas, control automation, chemicals, hydraulics, and pharmaceuticals. He is since 2020 engaged in management and technology consulting with a Houston-based firm heading at Indian Venture. And with before this role for around 23 plus years, he has been the CEO and MD of diversified industrial segments of global giants like name it GE, Eaton Corporation, Invensys, Concentric Pumps, where I met him. I was the maintenance engineer and Krishna was the MD. That's the time I met, and since then we have been connected, and he's helping me to grow myself and master fluid, including working with PEs, joint ventures, venture capitalists from Europe and US. So he credited with establishing three greenfield operations from cradle to cash in India. So which is a great experience to have. And then also in China, he created world-class capability centers in engineering, sourcing. So apart from being an engineer with master's degree in finance, he's also a master black belt from Six Sigma, right? And lean champion, having had opportunity to trained under Michael Harry, the proponent of Six Sigma with Bill Smith. He's credited with Global Innovator Award for Radical Refrigerator Controller, and he's a proponent of 6C methodology for cutting fluid management in machining industry. In giving back to society, he is passionately engaged in coaching and guiding next generation on career progression through his music, a choreographed process to get to C-suite, spirituality study where he is associated with a couple of non-profit institutions and handles sessions on understanding Bhagavad Gita, Hindu text on its relevance to day-to-day life, and how you can use it for next generation leadership and how can we grow. So today I would like to give this floor to him and then share how he can help, and then also what we're thinking about this program. And then he is the one who will be guiding you through this program. And then there's a lot of things to learn. When you go to the C-suite level, there are a lot of things that we do not know yet, right? There will be a lot of politics, there will be a lot of things that people, different forces will come into play. But how do you understand and then also navigate and then make sure that you are growing? So With that, sir, I'll hand over the floor to you and go ahead and share your vision. You are on mute.
Yes, thank you, Sanjeev. Let me see if I can share the screen. Just give me a second. Is the sharing screen done, Sanjeev?
No, I think I allowed it. You can start now, sir. You can go ahead and get.
No.
Hopefully, you should be able to share now.
Let me see. Just give me a second.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Good.
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Sanjeev. Let me put it in the presentation mode. Okay. So thank you, Sanjeev. As Sanjeev said,
Two screens. Just switch it on to the. Maybe there is a button. So you go to present. We are seeing two screens
even now?
now also. Yeah. So use slideshow on the top.
Yeah,
There's
I've done the slideshow.
maybe you can stop it again and show, and then
Let me stop the share and
Yeah, I think it is swapping the screen. Another screen
Swapping.
is actually the presenter slide screen.
yes. Oh, that I have to remove it. Let me see.
Yeah, you can go ahead now.
Are you still seeing both the screens?
We are not seeing anything now.
Just give me a second. Then let me do some sharing.
Yes, now we can.
Now, if I put in presentation mode, are you seeing both the screens or it's okay now?
Is okay now.
It's okay now. Lovely. Good. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good evening. This session, thanks, Sanjeev. Networking is the critical thing, as we go forward. But what this session is going to give you is not the complete methodology, but it's going to give you an overview of what this session is going to contain in future. Correct, Sanjeev? So I'm going to give you a brief introduction of what this session is. Before this, we must understand networking is one important aspect in life, as you grow up, because much of the progression takes place in networking. And more than that, let me share this. See, when I was with GE, we had some session called the Hawkeye. What is Hawkeye session at the very top level is this. No, wherever we go, we need to spot talent. That's what is one of our primary goal of a CEO. So when I was in CEO MD of in India, the primary goal is Hawkeye for the senior leaders, spotting talent. So what the session which we are going to see, this is only an introduction. So the idea of this, getting you to C-suite, apart from networking, which you need to do, you also need to create yourself to be spotted enough by, people who are walking beside you, or in a conference you meet, or in, meetings you go to. See, they are all very short time, I know most of you know it is called an elevator pitch. Is in that time which you are in, see the elevator, how many of you know what an elevator pitch is? Very good. So this is to tell you, it is something where you get into a very top CEO with an elevator, and you have just 2 minutes to pitch in of what you want, who you are, and how to get it done. So the Hawkeye is also a system by which people are trying to spot the talent, which is residing in the pool of talents available. So the idea of this suite, what I'm trying to bring out is also to get you to that level to be able to be spotted, and networking and spotting and creating yourself to be spotted is both requires talent and methodology to develop. So I'm sure all of us know about what C-suite is, and all of us want to get there at some point. And the idea of this program is to help you achieve that. Now, how are we going to do that is this. This is, with, we have a network of about 50, 60 CEOs whom we work closely, and we try to come out with sort of it's a very, very global guideline, which I've shared the last time for the people who were there. I call it as, 20 to 30 is an entry level where you are in a learning phase in an organization. I know I'm going to monitor time as well, Sanjeev, so I'll leave you back in 30 minutes. And when 30 to 40, you need to pivot and wider, getting your whatever you have learned into application, which is called the knowledge phase. And by 40, 45, you must get into C-suite. Now, this is a guiding principle because as we see, the age of people coming out of I would say coming out of hectic life and then starting their own passion and things like that starts maybe 55 to 60. So this is some sort of a guideline you should have, not necessarily hard and fast, but some sort of a guideline. So now this session is not for those who don't want to be in this. This is something where it's not that you have to be, it is a session for people who want to have it, because it needs a lot of dedication. It is not something you go through a slideshow presentation and then go back home. It doesn't work that way. It needs a lot of dedicated and disciplined effort to get to this level. So this is what I put it. As you grow, you need to, greater than 55, you need to give something back to society. That must be the objective, is what my humble suggestion to you people is. Because as you move up, you need the next generation to actually follow you, develop them and build them. And that is the same aspect on which I am working with Sanjeev to see how we can help people in the next generation to get to this. And if you have any questions, stop me at any point of time, because for with the aggression of time, I'm just going a little faster. No, I'm going to tell you the entire process how we are going to work this through. And this is already in place with a few people. Just shown a lot of success. The idea is, any process, we know it has an input, it has a process, and you will get an output. The input is to this process is, we have a lot of assessing your personality, because unless we know you, or that is, you know yourself, you will not be able to know others. That's a fundamental concept we work on. I'm going to talk on this later. Then the process is called music. That is MUSIC, is actually mutating self, individual and community. I'll talk about this word mutate. We all know what mutation is about from the COVID, which we have seen. And then finally is the output, which will take you into C-suite. So I'm going to give you very brief on what this music is about. Now, this is a well choreographed process. So I'm going to take you in a short burst, which is actually a very detailed process, as you can imagine, when you go through. See, the first step in this is understanding yourself and improving yourself. The idea is this. We all know who we are, but unfortunately, that is what we think. It is the people outside who know much more who we are than ourselves. Now, who we are is not in terms of answering questions. If I give you a question, you will answer it very well, what the value system is, how I should be, how this is things. But the problem is, it is not that who we are. It is who we are as others see it in our behavior. This is the crucial to understand in this. That is why you will see, many times, which I've repeated again, I'll not put ourselves as a boss. Now, that's why we see many of our bosses talk something and behave something, and which we have seen it many times. That the real problem is not theirs, it is all ours. Even we do in that position like that. We talk something, on a stage, we know what is to be done, but we don't behave that way. So, in order to understand who you are, you need to know what your true value proposition is. It is not as you think and fill up on a paper. This is where is critical to, because you will be seen by others, which you are not seeing yourself. You have to think through this. I'm just cutting short here, but I think last session we had a little detailed of understanding yourself. Because this is very crucial. Because you will think you are doing a lot of good job, but unfortunately my boss is not able to see it, my superior is not able to see it. This is a major problem we have, because we think we are doing, we think we are good, we think we are the best, but we need to really know where we lack. So the word I normally use here is called a flawsome individual. There are some flaws within us, we need to understand it. You need to have an open mind. Only if you understand this, then you can better. Now, the first session is to understand yourself on this. Then, sorry, then the next step is, clearly understanding your boss, how to manage individuals as a boss, and then how to manage people below you. That's the next as you grow. So you need to understand yourself first. Then you can understand your boss or your manager better. And then you also will be able to understand people who are reporting to you better. That's a growth as we are seeing, between the phases. Then finally is the entire community of stakeholders. That's where you get to C-suite, because as you go to C-suite, it's more of people handling in terms of, as I said, in terms of your strategy, in terms of your compliance, in terms of people, and then comes everything else. So people includes everybody, all stakeholders of maybe the board, maybe society, maybe employees, maybe suppliers, maybe customers, everybody in terms of people. So it's more of managing peoples and network and things like that. That section can come, if you are fully prepared in the next previous two phases. That's what is important on a C-suite. Now, I'm just going to give you a very brief, we all know this. This is a learning mechanism which is, very widely, we use it, but many of us may not know it. This is called the, 4-quadrant learning system. The first quadrant is called the ignorance. The ignorance is, ignorance is a bliss, where we do not know that we do not know it. That's a very blissful state, because the moment you know you don't know, you get to having problem, you think there is a issue, you get to this is where the child level is, where you just do not know, you do not know, you just don't worry about it. Okay, that's the first state. The second state is you are getting to be aware that you do not know. So if you look at it, this is called the first stage is called the unconscious. You're incompetent, but you're unconscious of it. The second stage is you're incompetent, but you're conscious of it. So now you are aware that there is something lacking. Now, until you come to this stage, you will never have a learning exercise complete. So, moment you are aware of your incompetency, then you go to learning phase. That is why most of the training programs in corporates do not carry value, because the people are not in the conscious incompetency stage. The moment you send me at a training program, I think I know all this stuff. The moment that I'm not aware that this is not what I do not know, there will be no learning. So learning has its maximum impact and effect once the person is in the consciously is aware of his incompetency. That is the conscious incompetence stage. Then the learning starts. That learning is what will lead you to mastery. No other learning will lead you to mastery. Now the mastery is what? Is you are completely what? Unconscious of your competence. This is like driving a cycle. You just get in and drive a cycle. You don't know how you're driving. And you will never fall. Even if somebody hits you, you will try to balance and get down, right? Unless it's a very shocking. Leave that. In generic terms, after having learned cycle, you will never fall. Even if somebody hits you, you balance and get down. That is the unconscious competence you have got. So such mastery is what is actually gives you. So whenever you do something unconsciously good, that's when your entire system has become good. But it starts with doing consciously good, which is true. You practice consciously, like driving a cycle. You practice at the learning phase. You fall down, you do all this stuff, but you consciously learn. You consciously see who is coming in the front, who is coming. It's like driving a car. You see who is coming front, who is coming at the side. But then once you master that, you don't need it. system takes over. So when you do something unconsciously good, that's when you have mastered the requirement of that learning. So this is where the whole system of music, mutating yourself, first helps you understand where your true nature is. This comes through a lot of assessments, personality, profiling and mapping. And also we do some feedback sessions so that you should understand first where you are. Now, this true understanding self is actually in the which quadrant you think? It's in the blue quadrant. Now, currently, I'm not getting into a lot of interaction but when we do the session, we'll have a lot of interaction. So first, we take you to the blue session because you must be aware. The moment you are not, then it does not matter. No learning will have an effect. Then we try to, what do? We try to mutate because you now are aware you're getting into learning. So there we have a planned action, course corrections and reviews and says. So this is where we take you into a learning session. So moment you understand yourself and then you start to learn, that's the step we push you across to with a lot of exercise to understand where you are, getting you to mastery of self. But then this is not just one slide. It's going to take a lot of time for you to master. There are a lot of exercises which is very easy. It's not something which is difficult. You can easily find out who you are, how are your behavior is, and then change your behavior. It's not it- I'm telling you, it is not at all, impossible, but it is difficult. It needs a lot of practice to do it because what has come as a early childhood practice, you are trying to mend it out. That's why we call it as mutate. Now, the mutation word is because we want you to mutate yourself. It is not a simple step change that you have to do yourself. You need to consciously mutate yourself to get to a better behavioral values, not values with respect to book. It values with respect to your behavior in a society or in a people or in a corporate environment. Now once this is done, then we go to the step 2, which is how do you manage your manager. Here you need to understand there are some stated and unstated expectations of your manager. Stated is something which he will tell you. Unstated is what you will have to decipher yourself. Many times is very difficult. This gap that exists between the unstated expectations is what causes a lot of soreness between you and the manager, that he is not able to understand what you have done because there are a lot of unstated expectations. So you need to understand what unstated expectation is. Of course, all others will come in terms of your communication, prioritization, ownership, learning. All this would come, but the idea is to give you a very methodical, understanding of how you determine the given expectations and unstated expectations of your manager. Because unless you do this, life is not going to be easy in where you do. So you need to have this clarity of what it is. And similarly, as you start moving up, understand this is the second stage what you are talking in the music. After understanding yourself, you have to understand your manager, and then you also have to understand your people below. This is where care, safety and growth is what is important as you grow. How you build this sort of empowerment with care and safety for your people below. There are a lot of methodologies, self assessments, that what you should do so that people below you, really, once you make sure that you have a safety net, which is what the current management term is, you set up, then you will see a lot of people giving beyond what they can in terms of the requirement for the progression of yours as well as your people. So this is the second step of your managing the manager as well as managing yourself below. And here again, a lot of exercises, examples are taken. And then at this point, you also just need a lot of, I would say, if you look at the original growth, you need a lot of learning and then you need a lot of knowledge. But at this point, because you are in a phase where the next step is getting into your C-suite preparation, you should have quite a good knowledge of finance, product, market, process, all this stuff you need. It's not that it's going to be, available at one place. This is where a lot of networking, a lot of, talking to people is required because you need to know what is this. This is where, we have a lot of, interview sessions. We have a lot of dialogues with CEOs who can come and talk, whom you can talk with when we do this, exercise. Because this is a not just one session exercise. This whole music, I have done this only for, because I take this only for few people, because we don't want to do it in mass. It's not possible. For people who are really, really interested, we go through this. A lot of insight is given on what the global dynamics is. We have a one-on-one session with various CEOs of the industries for people to talk and understand what is going on, because that's what prepares you for the next step. And then as you grow into the final role, you really need to understand, in terms of, I said, strategy, people, compliance. You're more on that. Then comes the market, then comes dynamics and things like that. So there is a continuous learning, and I'm sure that all of you are so good that many of you are on continuous learners. That's a primary requirement, and the learning must go on at all times, because in whatever position you are, whether you're in or outside, the continuous learning must go on, because that learning is what upgrades your current content for you to be aware of, so that you can make a decision which is based on data and facts, rather than getting onto a feel. And of course, now I'm just putting some outs. We have some people who are on global leaderships, whom we have, my close friends who are CEOs now, who are willing to spend some time and give it back to society. These are the people who are there, and then they want to help, people like you who are, this is, you can talk to them and understand. Now, let me close off with one final say, that unless you have a discipline, commitment, and fashion, do not get into this because this is not going to work. It's not something where you can sit for a day session or a couple of days and then get it out. So, unless you have this discipline, commitment, and passion, then only I suggest you sign in, because you need to get to a mastery level. You can always get to an awareness level, but then learning is where the critical thing is, and then get to the mastery level. Okay, this way, if you prepare yourself, as I said in the beginning of the talk, networking is one, but this is where, in apart from networking, you also will have some sort of a halo within you, that when people walk by, they can easily spot you as a talent. And that's what is critical in life, you getting spotted out, because the spotting time is very, very less for people, and networking helps you in that. We'll give you some reference, we'll give you this, but they are only entry tickets. But then you have to get spotted by those networks which is easily available, and then get on to the progression. Good, thank you everyone. I'm open to any specific questions, now or later. Thank you. Back to
Thank you.
Sanjeev.
Thank you, sir. I think this is amazing. Just wanted to give you the flavor, right? How the program will work and then what exactly, because it definitely needs dedication, efforts, and I think all of you have said, you're self-learner, you want to grow, but if at all, it also needs discipline and commitment. Those of you who have not joined the last session where Krishna sir led, I'm going to share that recording, those people who really need it. So before we schedule the next C-suite session, I want everybody to go through that recording first, because there's so much of knowledge. Without that, if you come to the next session, you will be blank. You don't understand. So better go through that. If you are interested to go to that C-suite, put some effort, put some time, learn, and then confirm. If you are ready, then I will bring you to the next session. So next session will be full of continuation of what we did. There is a recording available, but that is only for the people who really are interested, dedicated, who want to put that effort, and I want to get there, right? That's a kind of. So with that, I think, like I said, Krishna sir has a network of CEOs who will guide, who will come, and it's a great session. I never had this kind of privilege, and then this is all of you getting this through him. So take advantage if you're really wanting to get to that kind of C-suite level. All right. With that, let me go ahead and get started today's session. Today's session was 10 mindset shifts that are required. I just will share a quick presentation, and we'll have some discussion after that. So let me go ahead and get started. But stop me if you feel like, you need to really have any questions, pause me, and also let me know. So there are 10 mindset shift. This is what I got it from LinkedIn, and I really also did my own research. So what we really start with, this is a quick introduction. Our fears often block us from our goals because we always have fear, right? And fear comes because lack of knowledge. Like Krishna said, if you don't have that kind of unstated expectation clear to you, it creates fear, and that creates blockage, and that will not be able to achieve our goals. Then be in shift, but a shift in perspective, the mindset, that you can find courage. So once you understand, okay, here is the knowledge, here is how you can get there, and you will get that courage with the knowledge. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today, because we all have doubts, right? 85% of what we worry about never happens, yet fear stops 40% of people from pursuing their dreams. This is a big mindset shift. I want you to be aware, right? 85% what you think, worry about, probably may not happen, but majority of them, right? They are 40% people who really are, the doubts are stopping them to achieve their dreams. So first mindset shift is quite confidence, right? So if you see, ego shouts, but mastery speaks through action. Ego is, everybody has ego, right? And we always need to use that ego in a right direction. If I use it in a wrong direction, you will go in a different, because you always say, okay, if ego is there, everybody has ego. Oh, I want to really reach there no matter what, but not putting the other people down, other person down. So if you have that mentality, you will grow better versus how can I be better myself? I will be better than who I was yesterday, right? So always you go keep on shouting, right? You have to do this. I am, me is where ego comes. But ultimately, you can see there is a clear picture, right? The normally people who really talk a lot, they are not having full of knowledge, but those people who are very confident, they show less but they're quiet, and but there is a wealth of knowledge and they know how to handle the situation when it comes. So build proof before seeking praise, grow in silence. So you see most of the leaders, whoever are CEOs or great leaders that you admire, if you go and study them, you will see that there's a lot of discipline and hard work they did in silence, means without showing to the public. That's very important because growth happens in silence. They read a lot of books, they attend all these sessions without telling everyone. But I think we need to understand growth happens in silence. It means you have to really do the work. For example, nobody will build a great body without going to the gym or exercising. So you need to do that in order to get to the stage that you want. Confidence is silent, insecurities are loud. So if you see a lot of people only talk and confident people are silent, always you see, they're very methodical, structured, and then they always would love to share the tricks and tips when and where required. Studies show that overconfident people are perceived as 15% less competent by their peers, while those demonstrate quiet competence earn 29% more respect in professional setting. Let it soak a bit. Then progress before perfection. Every masterpiece started as mess, yours too. So this is a beginning, right? So always there will be, oh, how this will work, what happens, there will be always mess. But think, Taj Mahal was never built in one day, or big empires were never created in one day. It takes time. It's weird, but you have to start, right? Ship now, optimize later, perfect never comes. So always try something. So there's a visual thing, right? Where I want to be perfect, I want to be perfect. No, don't look for perfection. You have to show up. You have to start working because actions are very, very important. done is better than perfect. Perfectionism has increased by 33% among young professionals since 2000. Yet companies that embrace progress over perfection report 64% faster innovation cycle. So those companies who are growing, they always want to fail fast. They want to take action. Nobody needs a perfect project or product. You need to go ahead and launch it. You'll learn, you'll fail, and take learning from that and adopt it. So take actions. This is a different mindset. So progress before perfection. Then rest before you run out of gas. This is it's a different mindset. So peak performers know when to pause and refuel. If you're tired, you really are not having energy, you will not be able to get anything done. So the first and foremost thing is, are you taking care of your physical body? Are you taking care of your family? Are you taking care of your own, you know, physical, mental, spiritual, all those energies are with you? Then you can do a lot of things. If not, it's very hard, right? So here's a picture, right? When your cell phone is discharged, you don't have to diet, right? Otherwise you will not be able to communicate. So take the break when you feel like tired. So make recovery non-negotiable for your future self. So sometimes I've seen people start early, around 4 5 a.m. they go to gym and they start their morning routine and then go to work. But in the afternoon, some people I've seen take nap as well, or some people take energy through different ways of either walking, meditation. So you have to refuel. Just block some time for your growth, and just keep silence, or maybe just focus on your breath, whatever you want. Do meditation, but make sure that you are not running out of gas and taking action, because when you take any action or decision in stress, you'll always feel bad after that, because those decisions which you take in stressful situation, in angry situation, are not the right decisions. So the time to relax is when you don't have time for it. So professionals who take regular breaks are 37% more productive and experience 23% fewer burnout symptoms than those who push through exhaustion. Don't push through. When you feel like you want to take a break, take a break. I know it is easy than doing it, because in work, when you are in office, you can't. But also find out ways what makes you energized, right? Where you can take a coffee break, or you want to relax with a good friend. Just take some time to relax. Don't just keep working and then exhaust yourself. Your race, your pace. You see, he's way better than me. We always compare others. That's why I am bad, I am not able to. But you are there because of whatever you have done in the past today, and whatever you will do today, you will be there the next level, right? Like Krishna said, dedication, effort, and you want to there, you will get there. But ultimately, don't compare yourself. Okay, that guy is growing faster than me, how can you be better yourself, right? Success leaves clues, not blueprints. Stop waiting. Study mentors, ignore competitors, thank the haters. If somebody is hating you, somebody is thinking, oh, you are growing faster, you have this, that, okay, you thank them. Okay, that's good. But also competition. You don't compete with other people saying, oh, I have to only win. It is compete yourself, right? See who is your role model, what they have done, and what can you do. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? 78% of high achievers report following their own unique path to success, while only 12% achieved significant progress by direct copying competitors. So don't copy competition, always find your own path, what works for you. Then become your best match. Stop searching for the right person. We always feel like, okay, she is like this, or no, I want this kind of person, this. So, but if you are good, like Krishna said, once you know your values, once you understand who you are, then you don't care, right, what others think. You always automatically, okay, in a C-suite level, definitely, you need to think about others and all. But once you are at your best, ultimate things will happen to you. Everything comes to you. The right relationship will find you at your peak. Upgrade yourself first, second, and always. So make sure you are at the top with your mind, your body, and everything. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So find out where you are spending time with. Are you spending with Saturday Success Network, or you are spending with somewhere else? If you are, okay, go ahead and do it. But if you are willing to grow and join the network of people, yeah, just think about, are they the right mindset people? People who focus on self improvement first attract relationships that are 42% more supportive and experience 58% less toxicity in their professional network. So we don't want toxicity, right? If it is a toxicity in our network, means your mindset will be like that, and you will also have a toxic behavior. So find out your right network, and then always try to be yourself, right? What you want, do you have the right network, right? And discipline needs motivation. This is also important. Success happens when no one else is watching. So build systems, not goals. Fall flat and still win. So what this means is, when nobody is watching, for example, you want to build a body, or you want to build a knowledge or a network, ultimately you need to find out the right environment. How do I get there? Can I, or some, a lot of people say Saturday Success Network is Saturday, maybe, yeah, I may not be able to, but I've seen your dedication. No matter what, Saturday, Sunday, it is for my growth, I'll attend that, right? That's where you have to build your system in such a way that I'll prioritize other thing, but I will attend what is important for me and my growth. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but an habit. It's from Aristotle. We have heard this quote many times. So professionals with consistent daily routines are 2.5 times more likely to achieve long-term goals than those relying on motivation. So don't only rely on motivation, but always have a discipline. That environment can't work only when you feel like it. I want to do it, but I'm tired, do it tired. So make sure that you are whatever the commitment you did for that day, if you want to do it, do it. But a lot of people, oh, today I'm tired. So again, it may contradict with my previous statement. Take relaxation, and then also, we are saying do it tired. But you have to understand the goals always need dedication and effort. So you need to know when to take rest, take that energy and use it even you are tired, and go and do it, right? Then now is all you'll have, all ever have. Tomorrow's results start with today's choices. Turn hopes into action, own your dreams. So I always prefer actions. If you, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. So this is the time. If you haven't done in the past, it's okay, but now is the time for you to grow. Take that next step. 92% of successful entrepreneurship cite taking immediate action as the single most important factor in their success, while only 8% credited waiting for the perfect timing. So don't wait. Time will never be perfect. Again, if you want to be successful, take action and take immediately, right? So don't wait for tomorrow. Don't say that, hey, yeah, I did this yesterday. What is that you're going to do today, right? That's very important. Then sleep your ways to success. So your mind solves more problems asleep. Awake, protect your nights, and you will own days. So what this means, when you are low on your motivation or inspiration, to take some actions, right? Go for a walk, read a book, take a nap, listen to music, what makes you happy. And then always don't make decisions when you are in a stressful situation. That's where, based on my experience, I always think, if I'm very angry, or my mind is not working correctly, I don't want to make any big decisions. I would probably go and sleep, and then wake up with whatever the fresh idea, and then take that. Sleep is the best meditation. So whenever you feel like, the best way is sleep. Leaders who prioritize 7 to 8 hours of sleep make decisions 67% faster, show 33% higher creativity, and report 27% lower stress levels than their sleep deprived counterparts. So sleep is important factor. It depends, again, it may be 6 to 7, 5 to 6, depending on your body and your own condition, but it's the statistics based on the doctors, and also 7 to 8 hours. But when you wake up, you should feel energized. So always make sure that your mind is always active and it is really fresh, right? Trust your gut confidently. So over analysis quickly becomes paralysis. Act on instinct, adjust to data, embrace the risk. So what this means, stop listening to all the voices around you. This is only the voice that meant to be heard. So what is that? This is you, your own intuition. Your intuition is the most honest voice you will ever hear. 72% of executives attribute their most successful decisions to trusting their intuition, even when data was inconclusive or contradictory. So we always say, hey, this is what the data says, but always look at, okay, is it the right thing? Do you really feel that the right thing? Okay, but think about in that situation what helps you, right? Always there will be many opinions around you. So think about what works and trust your gut. Then you are going to be enough. So others' validation is temporary. Why chases? Build your worth to eliminate the need for approval. So what you think of yourself is much more important than what others think of you. So I've recently watched a video. There are people who will be always thinking, and then we always be thinking about others, what they think, how should I act, and we adjust our behavior. But if you are true to yourself and trying to do the right thing for yourself, let others think whatever they think. But if you are in the right mindset without harming anyone, you are trying to do the right thing, you should be good, right? So what you think of yourself is more important. Self-validation leads to 41% higher resilience in the face of criticism and 35% greater long-term career satisfaction. So always you need to also understand, okay, there will be people, but see what is your value? Are you aligned with that value? And then move on, right? The only person whose validation matters is you. Look in the mirror, that person. The conclusion, small shifts create breakthroughs, bold action build momentum. Your potential has no ceiling. So there is no ceiling. You can go to any level. The mind is everything. What you think you become. This is my favorite quote. If you see my WhatsApp, I always put this. Whatever I think or whatever I want to achieve will achieve only using your mind. People who actively practice mindset shift experience 3.5 times personal growth and overcome challenges 68% faster than those maintaining fixed mindset. So there's a good book called Mindset from a Harvard University professor, Carol Dweck, her name. I read that. This is a great book. If you want to try that, begin your unbreakable journey today. With that, I'll stop and I would like to have a quick discussion. I know we are 6 minutes over, and maybe maximum 4 minutes, and we'll stop the session. Anybody want to share anything about the presentation or any other thoughts? Go ahead. Okay, if not, we're almost 6 minutes over. I am going to send you the form for C-Suite, the next session C-Suite kickoff program. If you want to join, feel free to fill that form, and then I'll send you the link for the next session, which we are planning to do it next Sunday. Not Saturday is our normal session, so I'll be bringing a guest speaker, a CEO. We'll see. I'm talking to some of the people in Google. One of the person who created Gemini AI, and he's in India. So I'm talking to that person. I'm also talking to a person in Tech Mahindra, and some of you are helping me to connect with some of the CEOs. So those, if you have a person in your mind, Sanjeev, that person can be a good guest for this group. Please let me know by WhatsApp or in our group or by email. I would like to bring those kind of great leaders here to share their secret of growth, and then also anything they can help you, and also I want you to connect with them as well, right? So I'm working behind the scene with a lot of people and a lot of CEOs that I have not touched. There is one CEO that I'm aware of who is very close to JD Vance, who is the Vice President of America. So I want to bring that once we grow this. I want to bring that person to this forum. And he said, anytime, Sanjeev, tell me. But I want to wait for some more because I want to give him a bigger community than small one. So I'm waiting. There will be a lot of people who are going to come, and it is now your turn how you can build this network and also share it with other friends so you can help others and also let them grow. So when you help others, you will grow automatically. That's my philosophy. So with that, thank you so much. And if you have any other questions or any comments, ideas, next week, again, if time permits, we'll take the session. Otherwise, I need to do some bonus sessions like this. But every alternate Saturday is our program, Saturday Success Network, and then C-Suite Network will start based on the discussion. Next time, Krishna sir will lead that, and then we'll decide the timing and how you would like to take that to the next level. So there will be a lot of discussion, but feel free to send me an email. I'm going to send the form for C-Suite enrollment as well. And then any other ideas, thoughts to make this network bigger, better, or make sure that we all can grow, let me know and also share it with other friends. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Sanjeev.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sanjeev. Bye bye.
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 Thank you very much.
You.
Thank you.
Bye.